people can visually very fast identify some patterns on the like inside these addresses, and maybe then dive into the transaction list and what is going on, like how the money flow is going between them.
Welcome to XXIM podcast, home of decentralization. This is your host, Ankit, and today I've got Alex with me. Alex is the founder of Kasunder. Welcome, Alex.
Hi, Ankit. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Good to have you here, Alex. So Alex is building Kasunder. Kasunder for me is BubbleMaps of Kaspa, but I'll let Alex explain what is Kasunder.
Yeah, so Kasunder is some sort of mix of the BubbleMaps for Kaspa together with on-chain analysis and maybe some insights and graphical representation of the transactions that happens between the nodes and between the wallets and addresses on the blockchain. Our main aim there was to make put the transparency of what is going on, first of all, within the KRC20 ecosystem, and make it visually visible for users. So right. That's what we've started for.
So BubbleMaps of Kaspa, but KRC20 specifically, that you are focused on now, right? So for people that don't know BubbleMaps, right, I think there's a lot of community members perhaps that might not be aware of BubbleMaps. So Alex, please help us understand it. And after that, I want to go through, I think it'll be easier to show people with the demo, but I think initially you can explain to the community what BubbleMaps when did it start and what it does today?
Yeah, sure. So the BubbleMaps is really quite a popular service on-chain analytics service that presents the list of top addresses for a specific coin, and then it shows the connection between these addresses, and is also representing the percentage of allocation of the tokens between the addresses. And the main idea, as I understand this, is that people can visually very fast identify some patterns on the like inside these addresses, and maybe then dive into the transaction list and what is going on, like how the money flow is going between them. That's the short explanation. So what we are adding there, our intent was not to, let's say, copy or replicate the BubbleMaps and try to represent it on Kaspa. It was more about, we started from how the wallets connected to each other. There is another service called Arhan, I think, or something similar. Maybe I pronounced the name in the wrong way. But they also provide here, like, to show the list of transactions and how transactions goes between the wallets. And they also have some, let's say, visual graph representation of this process. And we started from that. And then we also added this bubble map-like representation for KRC20.
I see. When we started talking, so this is, I think, first interview you're doing, right? This is the first time you're discussing this product because you're building it as we speak. So I'm excited to have and show people what you're building. But when we started initially talking, I got excited because I think BubbleMaps, at least in my mind, changed the way people see on-chain data, right? On-chain data there's a lot of things people can look at, right? Tokenomics to what's happening, like with the vesting periods and stuff like that, token releases. But I think what BubbleMaps did is they connected the wallet to wallet, right? You can see how different wallets are connected to each other, right? Representing as pattern. And I think BubbleMaps changed the way people analyze, the on-chain data, right? So I got excited, and I'm excited to share this. But I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. So why don't we show people a live stream of what you're building?
I will just give a quick overview of what we are seeing currently on the screen. So the service showing some basic information about what is going on the blockchain with the KRC20 tokens, how many tokens we have, how many active addresses, active wallets. That means that not specifically address, but a unique wallet for a specific token. How many fees paid, like charge for the transactions per day, the token dominance, where you can like easily see what is the current, let's say, dominance of each token. For example, we can see that Nacho and Kango right now taking more than 50% of the whole market cap of the KRC20 ecosystem. But then we have this kind of what we can call bubble maps, and this is a visual representation of top 100 wallets in KRC20. So if I
Sorry,
scroll
Alex.
down, yeah,
I think I'll start to ask some things, but do you mind just starting
sure.
from the top, because then we can go through as you're explaining. It'll be good to specifically go through each. So the tokens, I get it. The total KRC20 tokens is 1931. You have addresses, you have fees. What is the duration of these fees paid to the miners?
So that means like how much it increased till the last day, for example.
Oh, just 24 hours?
It's last day from, let's say, update. So the data update, I don't remember where exactly was made on our database. So we have some intervals where we are updating the data, and right now it's not such a frequently. And then we calculate the fees like per some specific interval. We plan after it to add the configuration here that user will be able to choose the interval, and then all the data will be in specific interval, and it will be clear for which interval these data are.
Okay, so you're still building it, right? So you have to add markers and stuff like the fees.
So
duration. Yeah. Okay.
Internally, we are releasing it, but internally we call it as a POC of the service.
Okay. I think it's important to launch the POC, right? To put it out to people to get the feedback. So that's always important to have that, right? And then you have transaction volume. So Wednesday, like maybe 2 weeks ago, you had a huge spike, right?
Yep.
So this is the transaction volume of KRC20 tokens.
Yes.
We can't just click on it and see what happened that day. Like we don't know what tokens were.
So right now not, but that's definitely the things we will add later, that you will be able to jump into the specific day and have a list of, let's say, the transactions and maybe the list of the most active wallets or anything that can give you some insights of what actually went, why this spike has happened.
Yeah. No, that's why I thought it'll be, because I had so many questions coming to my mind when you were showing me the top screen. So I thought I'll stop you there and go through that. Okay, but you're going to add that there, right?
And then actually, that's the great point, because that's one of our intent, to show it to the users and then to get the feedback, what exactly users want to see there. Yeah, because we are not doing it for ourselves, right? So we are doing it for people, and we cannot think about all the use cases that people might think about. So we will accumulate the feedback and we'll try to implement the features that are demanded by the community.
Yeah. And, from our perspective, I thought these are the tools that help Kaspa ecosystem to be more decentralized, because when people can do the research, they can see patterns. If someone is trying to trick something or play games here, right? Some KRC20 token or, any new project that comes along, people should be able to do the research. And this sort of helps you to take a step forward than what the project is putting out there, right? So I like it. Now, moving on to the token dominance, I can see, as you've said, that's, I think, pretty straightforward. I think putting time will be there important. Like, what is it 30 days? Is it 7 days? Whatever the time frame is, which will be good. And then you were moving on to the BubbleMaps itself. That looks very cool. It looks very similar to BubbleMaps itself, the platform.
Yeah, the idea was like not completely to replicate the interface of the BubbleMaps, but to make something that user will understand. Because in such a visual representations, sometimes it's really hard, to bring something new, because it's hard for people to understand what is actually this. And I think many of the people already have an experience with BubbleMaps, and we are making this kind of a bridge from this UI UX and then to the graph of transactions that I will show a bit later that looks in a similar way.
Awesome. So now what are we looking at? So this is a one big wallet in the middle, right? And that's it's pointing it to so many smaller wallets. So
yes.
Like, how do you read this data or visuals?
Yeah, so basically, first of all, what I need to mention here, that this is not exactly the way how the BubbleMaps draw in the charts, because in the BubbleMaps you specifically select the token and then you have a list of addresses related only to this token. We will also have it, but we are starting from we call it overview. Yeah, that's the overview of the KRC20 ecosystem. So what you can see here is a list of 100 addresses, regardless the token in the KRC20. So for example, the first address, it has 72 KRC20 tokens. And if we're measuring the token, the dominance of the address, it takes about 8% of the whole, let's say, market cap of all the tokens in the entire ecosystem. Then when you select the wallet, yeah, as you mentioned, you can see immediately like with which wallets this wallet is connected. You can just select other wallets and check what is this. For example, this is the Pionex wallet. Then you can find like the economy wallet and so on and so forth. Also, with this direction of how this dashed line is going, you can see in which direction transaction flow is going. So if there is a solid line like this one between two nodes, that means that they send transactions to each other. If there is a dashed line that moving towards some of the node, that means that this node is only sending transaction here, but this node is not sending anything back. So
what is this big bubble in the middle?
This is a CoinX wallet.
Oh, okay,
and right. CoinX, for example, you can see immediately how much allocation of Nacho it has. It has like all like more than 8% of the whole Nacho that are like exist. They are storing on this wallet, and 6% of Kango, and so on and so forth. So it's more than 70 tokens here.
Wait, so
what else?
Sorry, Alex. Are we saying sure. that CoinX exchange holds that many KRC20 tokens? I wasn't aware of that. They have like
so
whatever.
If we go down, we go down, we can see that from some point you start to have like a very tiny allocation of any token. So we don't even know how they get there, but they are definitely on that wallet. But for most of the tokens, like for example, you see like it's one token, 2 tokens, something like this. And maybe only top 15, top 20 really has some significant volume.
I see. Okay, I get it. Maybe there are airdrops, or I don't know what. I mean, airdrop doesn't really happen like that, but I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, we can run our own token and send it to this address, right? So and then it will appear here. So that's how it might happen.
Yeah, or I don't know. Could be other reasons. So CoinX is the middle here, right? And then you have these smaller bubbles that are around this bigger bubble, and these were exchanges too, right? You pointed out one of the exchange that CoinX sent some coins to, right?
I think that the Pionex, for example, is here, the one of the Pionex wallets, and if we see on the list, it's the same addresses, just structured in a table. You can just find the specific exchange you want. I don't know, for example, if we find like the Pionex US wallet, we can click on it and it will be highlighted on the graph. So when we zoom out, here is the one. So that's another alternative way how we can look through them.
So what does that mean? Are we saying that one exchange, in this case, CoinX, is sending some tokens to the other exchange, to Pionex? Is that how?
Not specifically to Pionex directly, because now you can see that from this exchange, it's going to this address that doesn't have any tag, so we don't know what is this. And then through this address, it goes to Pionex. So
it could be common wallet that they both hold?
I don't think so. It's a common wallet, but probably somebody who is like managing some allocation, just sending wallets between the exchanges, not directly, but through some other wallet.
Right. I see. Because I think that's the powerful visualization of the data, right? Because now I can see, what's happening, and interpretation is yours, right? Like as you said, you don't think, but some people might have a different interpretation here, right? If they have
exactly.
So that's the power of data and visualization. But that's cool. Thanks for explaining that. Yeah,
I can give you a few examples that also visually, let's say on the graph, like how potentially the system might be used. And again, as you said, like anybody can find something else that's like basically what I found just looking through very quickly. So, for example, we have this quite a big wallet that storing the PPCAS token. I honestly not sure what's the token about, but it's something about gamification. I'm not sure if they released already the services or not. But this wallet stores like 50% of the whole PPCAS, and it's worth of like $1.5 million. And we can see that this wallet.
So the market cap for the entire token will be $3 million.
Yeah, it's around 3 million. Yeah, 3 and 7.
Right. So roughly around 50%.
Sorry, 3. Yeah, it's exactly 3. Yeah,
yeah.
This one.
So 50% of the allocation is sitting in the wallet, right? I mean,
yes.
Again, you can infer that any way you like, but from my perspective, that's too much. I mean, that's not a decentralized project just by looking at it. It might be, but looking at it, it doesn't tell me that story.
Yeah, that might be a trigger, exactly as you mentioned. That might be a trigger for you to dive deeper, right? So you went here on the BubbleMaps and you see something that might be weird, or I don't know, something that pay your attention. Mm-hmm. Then what you can do that from this wallet, let's say we say, okay, yeah, it's weird, right? That it's 50% of like on the wallet that is not connected to any other wallets here. Yeah. Then you can click this button and go to explore the transactions of this wallet. And then we are going to another tab on the left side, it's wallets graphs. And then you see a list of transactions. So if I scroll down, there is a list of transactions between the wallet that we selected and all other neighbor wallets.
That is very cool.
And also the transactions will show in between the neighbor wallets themselves. So it's not necessarily one-to-one like communication. What is interesting here that we can see that it has only one single transaction. So this transaction goes from wallet CMZ, that's this wallet, to the wallet that we just selected. And in one single transaction that they send is half of the allocation of the whole token. So if I click on this wallet, I'm jumping immediately to, let's say, that one. And I have with this kind of a bit green light, I have connected, like highlighting the connection to my previously selected wallet that I would not lose the track where I was. And this graph is more interesting, right? So because it has many connections and many of the wallets here, they have text. So we can see that this is PPCAS Games, this is PPCAS Marketing, this is Team Wallet, this is their ecosystem wallet, this is their airdrops wallet, this is their listings wallet. So for whatever reason, they decided to move from the main wallet, the half of the allocation to that one, and that is not visible, let's say, maybe to make this kind of a proxy connection, God knows. But let's imagine like I need some further investigation. For example, I want to see where the airdrops are distributed or something like this, right? So I see that there is an airdrop wallet, and I see that the games wallet, it has like these dashed lines going to the airdrop wallet. So it was like transferring, like back then, where they transferred the tokens. If I jump to the airdrop wallet, I can see that airdrop wallet doesn't have a lot of outcoming transactions. So the only transaction it did, it's actually to this wallet, AZ4, right? And it doesn't look like an airdrop. If I will see in the list of transaction, I will find it here, and it's like 25 millions of PPCAS. But then I can go deeper, right? So I jump here, and then I see already a way different picture, right?
There's a lot of wallets there. Yeah,
exactly. So, and if I will zoom it in, I'm not sure if it's visible on the video or not, but you can see that the only one transaction is incoming to this wallet, and there are a huge amount of outcoming transactions. And that's exactly the wallet where they probably distributed the airdrops. And if I will go to investigate the transactions from this wallet, I can see that they sent 10,000 PPCAS to all the wallets, like all around this one. And then what I can do next, for example, if I'm curious that, okay, who are actually getting this distribution? I can find some patterns that, for example, from this wallet where they actually distributed the airdrop, they sent airdrop here and they send it here. But this wallet also sent it back here. So this is for me the clear indication that the owner is probably the same, right? So, and we can find like many of them like these. And then I can say, okay, then I maybe find the wallet that accumulated as much PPCAS, let's say from the airdrops as they want. I can select it, I can check their transactions, or I can just basically save it and then look for it, like from time to time when it will make next moves or what else will happen with this wallet.
How can you save it? Is like a save button, or like what
So,
do you, what's the way to save that wallet?
yeah, so right now you cannot. So right now you can just write it on a piece of paper and that's it. But that will be our further development. That's in our roadmap. Will be exactly after we will add an option that you will be able to draw a bubble maps not for the entire ecosystem, but to draw it for a specific token. Let's say you took like this PPCast, and then it will be a bubble maps of the PPCast where you will have immediately all the connections between these top 100 wallets only in the PPCast, right? So the similar to what BubbleMaps service is doing. And then you will be able to dive into the transactions and see these transactions that I showed you here, not related to all the KRC20, but only to the token that you choose. And then we will, after it, we plan to add some sort of a subscription to the wallet that you can form a list of wallets that you want to be subscribed on, and then you will get notifications about some transactions that these wallets are doing.
I see. So you're making it easier for the user to keep an eye on any wallets. And I think BubbleMaps is beautiful because they constantly do investigation on certain projects, and they publish their research onto Twitter, onto X, and people can follow along if the wallets are moving. One of the features that I personally love on BubbleMaps is this clustered feature, and which is basically, you can, in just this example, right, you have this big bubble and then you have connected to that like smaller bubbles, right? And what BubbleMaps, I believe, does is it collects that as a cluster, and it says what portion of the supply is locked between the cluster rather than a single like bubble. So do you have something similar you're thinking of launching?
So currently, specifically for the cluster, we do not, but we definitely will work somewhere in that direction. Because also, for example, what BubbleMaps are doing, I believe in version 2, not sure if they already launched it or not, but they're trying to, hide some, let's call it a wash traded wallets or something that you will see not the connection between all the wallets, but you will see the meaningful connection. Because sometimes, like with the bots, you can go from wallet to wallet to wallet to wallet and then get back. And then it's literally like you don't need to see all these wallets, like it might be swapped into the single one, kind of the virtual wallet. So we will also look into that direction because, for example, what we found here, like in the list of tokens here, it's top 100 addresses. But the problem that many tokens try to simulate the market cap. So you can also see it on Kas.fyi that if you go there and filter them by the market cap, in top maybe even 10, you will not see Nacho or Kango or whatever. It will be some no-names tokens with the billions of dollars of market cap. And this is a fake market cap. So it's like, I don't know, I go to the DEX and make a few transactions between my wallets, and then I got such a market cap, and I can put whatever price I want. So we are currently filtering out all these wallets, but what we also want to add in the future is like some wash trading detection when we will be identifying the tokens that are try to make a trade in between wallets that owned by probably the owners of the token, things like this.
Which is very important, right? But that's amazing. Like, I think, the more you can provide to the community, the more you can provide within the Kaspa ecosystem. I think the more educated decisions people can make off the back of the data, right? The decision making is theirs. You're just providing them a visual representation of the data, right?
Yeah, exactly. We are not telling to the user like, look guys, here is the token, buy it, or here's the token, sell it. We do not make any of these decisions. We just try to make things transparent. So another example in this regard, what I can make, like for example, we have a wallet 12 here in the
Wintermute. That's a market maker.
So if we will go to these wallets, it's not like the biggest wallet in the system. It is not connected to any other wallets. But if you look at the allocations here, it has like 3.5 supply of Kango. So if it's truly the wallet of Wintermute. Then, for example, if I will go to explore transactions here, I can see that, yeah, it's connected to some wallets, but it is not making any transactions outside, just transaction here to wallet 4G9 right now. And even if I will find this transaction, I will find that it makes transaction to wallet 4G9 and it gets money back from the same wallet. So it was like more like a test transaction between these two wallets. And from other wallets, it's just sending the specifically mostly Congo to this one. I can copy the address here. And for example, if I go to cas.fi, FYI, there is a list of top addresses there, right? So, but you will see that the last 1,000 address on the top, it has worth of like $20,000 and 254,000 Kaspa. So if I will just put this address here and go here, so it's a Wintermute, it's marked at the Wintermute wallet, but it has 11 Kaspa. So this address will never show up in the Kaspa top addresses, you know? So this address will never like show up in any top list, right? But it shows up in our system as like 12 because it has a lot of Congo. Then again, like the users, they may do their own decisions what to do with this information. If they find it, they can think, okay, maybe Congo, like Wintermute, start to take KRC20 tokens, and maybe Congo is the one they started from. Who knows? Maybe it's just a mistake, you know, and somebody marked it like by mistake.
So so how do you mark this wallets? Because you've got exchanges there, you've got Wintermute being the market maker. You know, and you've obviously got the, I mean, I guess the project is fine because on Ethereum side, you have, you know, smart contract addresses that are clearly labeled. How are you doing that now with, you know, exchanges and stuff that you're highlighting?
So with this specific thing, we are fully trusted to cas.fyi. So whatever tags are there, we are basically using the same things.
I see. I mean, so we'll have to find out how they're doing that labeling of these wallets.
Yeah, so that's the question to them. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can show some other, let's say, patterns or some specific things what can be found there, but they will be pretty much very similar. You can also look for example, tokens that if I go to this wallet specifically, right? This wallet is not marked by anything, but it's quite big wallet. Mm-hmm. And this wallet has a lot of allocation, like 10% of Congo. So it has quite a lot of wallets. If I jump into explore the transactions, I can see like what else people can pay attention for. If I scroll down, like it's a lot of tokens here, right? But in some point, the tokens that have some market cap are ended, and then there are tokens that do not have a market cap. So these tokens were never traded anywhere, right? So I can see that on this wallet, there is quite a big allocation of Congo. It's 10% of Congo. And then there is a specific token that called Kanda, that we have like 6% of these tokens stored on that wallet. Right. And then I can also try to find that there is another wallet that marked here as Kanda Fund. Yeah, so I can go there. That's the one that probably these tokens came from. So you see that there is a transaction from Kanda Fund to the wallet that we checked before. Right. Then I can try to check, okay, what is this Kanda, right? So I can copy the address, and there is another tab here called Top Minting, and where we show in the basically minting progress of the tokens. But what you can also do, you can paste it here, and it's like filter the token that you're interested in. And then you see that this Kanda token, it was released in 19th of January. It has a total supply of 1 trillion tokens, and all 1 trillion tokens were pre-minted, right? And right now, although it's all were pre-minted, now it has 3,000 holders. So 3,000 wallets has allocation of this token somehow without any trading, you know, like zero trading wallet. They never traded anywhere.
Very, very suspicious.
It's kind of an interesting. So I would just keep an eye on this token. Maybe something will go on later with this, but it looks like maybe.
Yeah, they might do airdrop or something, but I don't know why would you hold 3,000? Why would you hold that much supply? You know, there's a valid reason to have, if you are a project or exchange, to have couple of wallets, because you don't want to have, for security reasons, you don't want to hold just on one wallet entire supply, right? You distribute them.
That's for sure.
But you don't. I mean, I'm trying to get my head around why you would have 3,000 wallets. To save.
Maybe you are very security concerned, like, and you want to distribute it even more. Maybe
Right.
That's the reason.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. I mean, who knows, right? But this is, again,
Yeah, exactly.
This is the research. You're providing a visual representation that within like milliseconds you can see, how projects are structured and where to go look for this type of data. That's very cool. One thing that jumped out to me though, why can't I see how much Kaspa these wallets have? Because you're focused on KRC20 only. Why not showing similar representation on Kaspa?
Yeah, so we decided to start from KRC20 because it's, in our opinion, it was the most, let's say, retail-driven area back then when we were starting, like about 3 months ago, to start to work on this service. We have a list. If I will show you our roadmap, like this is a very simplified version of what we plan to do. These 2 points I already mentioned, and the last one here in the roadmap right now, it's exactly bringing the same functionality on main Kaspa network, and to see have exactly the same things that we just went through, the BubbleMaps, going through the transactions list, but with the Kaspa transactions as well. So the reason, like there is technical reason and there is, let's say, business reason here. The business reason, as I said, like that we think that from some investigation perspective and take a look on what is going on the blockchain, the KRC20 token is just a bit more valuable for users right now than just the Kaspa currency. From the technical point, they are all based on different indexers. So, for example, we are leveraging the indexer from Kasplex to get all the information about KRC20. For the Kaspa, it will be the default Kaspa indexer. For example, if you want to add the NFTs that right now are implemented by the Kaspa bot team, they have their own indexer. And one of the ultimate goals for us in the future, it will try to put all these things together and maybe to build our own custom indexer that will just show everything, and also to provide it in the future as a service, maybe for the corporate clients that hopefully will start to come to Kaspa blockchain.
I see. So essentially, because of the pruning, Kaspa just throws everything right after 3 days. So you have to go to either set up your archival sort of node, or you have to go to an indexer that is keeping all the data. Right. So
it were very positive news from Micro Labs on your podcast. I think they mentioned that they are working on this indexer for their archival node. So if they will make it open source, maybe we also will have less work.
I think they said they'll have to do it because of the current infrastructure of Kaspa layer 1. So I think they'll have to, what I remember them saying. So but no, I think it's a valid point. And as you say, from the business perspective, it makes sense also, right? You would want to keep this node yourself, and over time, perhaps you can sell some data to some corporates.
Yeah.
Now, this is exciting for everyone, including us. I think I'm excited to see it, excited to use it. Just quickly touching upon, your Kaspa journey and your background. I think we specifically thought it'll be something we can discuss later on. So when did you discover Kaspa, and what's your background?
Okay, so starting from my background, I'm a software engineer, like technical product owner, tech lead, with around 15 years of experience in this area. For the past 6-7 years, I'm working in banking and financial industry and still working there. So for us and for all the members in the team, we have a small team, but for us, it's like a side work. It's like a side project. We definitely want to make it as our main deal in the future. But right now, it's just something we're doing in our free time. I went to Kaspa somewhere in the middle of May 2024. And before my previous touch of the blockchain industry was in the 2017-16, I made some things with the smart contracts there on Ethereum, but like just playing around, nothing serious. And then I forgot about blockchain totally, to be honest. And in 2024, I was thinking about, okay, what has happened from the perspective of the corporate market? Like, did anybody came to leverage the blockchain, the public blockchains? And if not, maybe why they didn't. So I went to the research trying to find what are the best blockchains that might be used and leveraged by the companies, corporate institutions. And then that's how I basically found Kaspa, because it came up just a supreme piece of tech in the blockchain world, let's say.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you're working in the banking industry. You're still doing that. It's more of a hobby on the side that you're trying to build something with perhaps other people, other developers, other friends that you might have. And what is two further questions? What is the ambition here for you? Like, what is the big picture for Kasunder? Because BubbleMaps, I get it, right? I'm sure everyone will get it. You've demonstrated to us. What is the big picture that made you start this?
So the big picture, the ultimate goal, let's say, for us, first of all, as I mentioned, like me and the developers who are working on it, we came from Web 2 world. So we are not an experts in the blockchain. We are learning very fast, and we try to, get all the knowledge that we need. And this is one of the projects, like the Kasunder, for us, it's a step towards this, going through this learning curve. So the ultimate goal is to get all the details of the blockchain and try to build services, APIs, and some, let's say, provide some things for the corporations that might come to Kaspa in the future. Because one of the things that corporations might like come into the public blockchain, that for them, I can give an example with Indexer. Like, if the corporate client, for example, either a bank or anybody else, they want to make something on the blockchain, they have to be 100% sure that what they see in the indexer is the same that happens in the blockchain. And right now, although the indexer might be the open source, like, they cannot really be sure that what is actually running in production is built from exactly the same code base that you see on the GitHub, right? So for them, there are only two ways how to do it. They either build it by themselves, that huge, let's say, unknown spot in their competence, usually, or they rely on some vendor. So, and the vendor, and the idea of like put this responsibility on the vendor is not to not waste money, like on building it by them own, but to just reduce the risk. When something went wrong, there is some specific company, specific people who you have a contract with who will basically pay for it, right? If some client will sue you. So, and the idea was to try to dive deep specifically into the Kaspa blockchain. And of course, this is some sort of bet from our side. We are not doing it for any other blockchains, but specifically for the Kaspa, because like we believe that's the only blockchain that can really work for such corporate market. And to provide, to make the life of moving these corporate markets to, move the utility there like easier than it is right now.
Awesome. And that's amazing. We need to build it first and then they will come, right? That's a saying, right? As the saying goes.
It's like chicken and egg, right? So
someone has to build first and then the corporates will come. In terms of the timeline, what are you thinking? You've got a working prototype that you demonstrated to us. When are you thinking of launching it? Or, like testnet or something?
Sure. If you've been mentioned during our call that it's good to have feedback from the users, and our goal right now on that stage is to launch it as soon as possible. So I think whenever anybody will watch this episode, it's already live, so you can go and try it on kasunder.com. And then the next steps, we will go towards adding all the things that I've been mentioning, like trying to watch for a specific wallets, have the list of these wallets that you can observe, add separate tokens that you can have draw these graphs and see the transactions for specific tokens and things like this.
Okay, so it's kasunder.com. It's live now. Can people go and? Okay, awesome. And you're taking feedback from the community, and where can they give you feedback if they wanted to give you feedback? Do you have Twitter, or do you have any place they can go?
Yeah, so we have Twitter, we have Telegram channel, and the idea there that we also want to post, let's say, our ideas, what we're gonna do next, and then have some public voting that people will say us like, okay, let's do this first, but not that. Like
I
for
see.
us to have some sort of prioritization. And also we have like a contact us address on the website, so please message us any kind of ideas or any kind of collaboration if anybody will think about any collaboration in the future. So we are
Okay.
super open for learn.
Awesome. And I think just to wrap this up now, data here is so powerful from my perspective. There's so many insights that you can pull as individual, you know, regarding any project that you like, project you've seen, project you've heard. You can pull so many insights. I love to see that and read that one day, because I used to read BubbleMaps a while back, the data they were publishing. So look, Alex, on that note, thank you so much.